Good morning, this is Will with Spiritual Clarity. Today's video is not one to play with the kids in the car. I will be swearing because it's all about your BS zone. It's very different from your comfort zone. So this is something I feel very strongly about. I'm probably going to talk very quickly for this video. I think I've been waiting to make this video for about 4 years, if not 10. Because I feel that our industry, and broadly speaking, personal development, spiritual thought leadership, all of that, our entire industry has done a real disservice to the people that follow our work. And it's no one's fault. It's just because it's really easy to make a quote or a meme with things like, get out of your comfort zone, or comfort zone is death, or, everything that you want, all of your dreams and desires are beyond your comfort zone. You have to get uncomfortable. But it's actually a half-truth. It's not the whole truth. And this is what I work with my clients on all the time. And this video is inspired because I had a session with a woman who said those very words to me. I've been comfortable for too long. I have to get out of my comfort zone. And energetically, it just was off. It felt horrible. It felt terrible. I could feel my whole body constrict. I could feel the resistance. I probably twitched on the video. If this is the first video of mine that you've seen, you'll have to go back and watch some other ones where I explain what the twitching is energetically. And it pains me because too many people rush out of their comfort zone towards their dreams, headlong towards their dreams, but they either overshoot or they undershoot, and they land smack dab in the BS zone, the bullshit zone. And this is where, if they overshoot, they end up becoming arrogant or salesy, either just to themselves or to other people. This is like salespeople that, you can tell they don't believe what they're selling. Or to themselves, you can tell that they don't believe the things that they say. They say something like, well, I've got to make 10 sales calls today. And you can tell they're not going to do it, or they are going to do it, but they're going to throw their entire life out of whack just to try to make that happen. They're not in alignment with themselves. They don't believe what they're saying. Or they undershoot, and they still land in the BS zone, which when they undershoot, it's people pleasing. They live their whole lives for other people. They're not actually in alignment with themselves and their dreams. There's no balance. So, excuse me. The trouble with these quotes and memes, and I use quotes and memes too, because they do and they can get across a specific idea quickly, but then they get misused and misapplied because it takes a long time to teach what you really need underneath. And what I believe you really need underneath is energetic alignment. This is when you're just being you. You're not trying to please anyone else. You're not trying to do a sales job. You're being you. This is a great example of this is when you see a great public speaker and they're off on this great, someone like Oprah or Brennan Bouchard or Tony Robbins, or even great actors and actresses do this, and you'll see them mid-performance to catch themselves and go, oh, sorry, I apologize. I just completely misspoke. They have the awareness. They're actually still in their body. They're still present with you as people, as I do my best to be right here with you now in this video. They're still present as people. They're not overshooting into the BS zone. They're also not up on stage or in front of the camera, timid and shy, and I hope I don't offend anybody. The people pleasing, that is again in the BS zone. So it's hard to put energetic alignment and deep self-trust and deep self-knowledge into a meme or into a quote. It doesn't really work. It takes time. It's not a one and done. It could take years to actually learn how to be truly in alignment with yourself. So again, this came because I had a session with a woman who literally said to me, I have to get uncomfortable. I haven't been uncomfortable in a while. That's why I'm not having success. I need to get out of my comfort zone. And I couldn't let it slide. I couldn't let it go by with one more client, and I never do actually. I can't let my clients or the people that I work with do this, because I know the pain personally of being so out of alignment, of living in my BS zone. I did it for years, and it sucked, and it was painful. The best example I can share with you, and see if you have any examples for yourself like this, or maybe you're living this right now. Years ago, I did direct sales. Now, direct sale, I still do direct sales in a different business, but I went down the dark, I went to the dark side. Direct sales is a wonderful industry, but I went into the dark side and I went to door-to-door sales for an energy company in Toronto. Oh, it's terrible. And as I'm going door to door on the first day, getting trained by the guy, and you get 1 day of training and then they send you off to sink or swim. And I asked questions, hey, you're saying that they're not switching services, but they are. This form clearly says on the second page that they're switching services. So what is that? And he said, well, they're not really, they're still getting the same service. It's just from a different provider. I said, that's switching services. And he said, no, it's not. And he just brushed it off and kept going because this guy made lots of money. I don't know how he slept at night, but he made lots of money. So the next day, I'm off on my own, trying to do what I've been trained to do. I don't want to be in my comfort zone. I gotta get uncomfortable. I gotta be bold and get out of my comfort zone. And I couldn't do it. I did about a half day, and then I sat down on the curb and waited for the van to come pick me up. I didn't know where it was, so I couldn't get home on my own, in the middle of a suburb somewhere. And I sat down and said, nope, I'm not doing this. And the trainers came by and tried to motivate me and get me back in action. I said, no, I can't lie. I can't do this. I'm not that person. I'm not going to live in that BS zone. Now, at the time, I didn't know it was called the BS zone, but I just knew that I couldn't lie. So what happens if you live too long in your BS zone? If you undershoot, you're people-pleasing, you're procrastinating, you're getting overwhelmed all the time, you're not really listening to yourself and what you really want to do, you're living for others. If you overshoot, you're in the hashtag hustle, you're in the burnout, you're trying to push yourself and motivate yourself constantly. Now, a little bit of motivation, a little bit of push is good to get in momentum, to get the ball rolling. But if that's all you have, if you're a one-trick pony and all you have is motivation, you will burn out, you will get exhausted, and you cannot maintain that for any length of time. And that all comes from living in your BS zone. So where are you full of shit? Where are you lying to yourself? Where are you saying that, you're on track and everything's great, you're going to keep going, but you can feel it in your heart or in your gut, in your soul, that you're lying to yourself? Or if you've undershot, where are you saying, oh, everything's fine, everything's great, everything's okay, but it's not? You know that it's not. You know that your soul is calling for you, crying for more. So on either side, you're living in your BS zone. And the other reason why people do this is because they're so desperate to get out of how things have been. That either they've been, in their own eyes, a failure or not succeeding, or they haven't been achieving the goals that they set, or maybe second time declaring bankruptcy, or even first time, or that's just on the horizon, whatever other horrible circumstance that is in their life. And they want to get out of there so desperately that they push. And they go out of alignment and they take a sales job that they don't want to take. Like maybe they're not actually a salesperson. They don't really enjoy it, but they've been told that they have to. Or maybe whatever it is, it's not just sales. That's on my mind because of the story that I shared. But whatever it is, they end up pushing too far. And the shoulds and the shame game just take over. And every morning you wake up and you've got 8 shame blankets on of all the shoulds and the shames. I'm not a good enough mother. I should be doing more. I'm not a good enough father. I should be doing more. Whatever the shame blankets are for you, that's another indication that you're living in the BS zone. Now, it might just be your pinky toe is in the BS zone, or you might have both feet firmly planted. And how you'll know is you're either a little bit tired every day or you're exhausted every day. If you're exhausted every day, I hate to tell you, but you got both feet. You got your whole body in the BS zone. And maybe you're looking at your dream zone, or maybe you're looking at your comfort zone, but you're actually in the bullshit zone. So how do you get out of the bullshit zone? Well, there are lots of wonderful ways. There's lots of wonderful teachers online. My suggestion is that it's about the imposter complex. That if you can identify what I call the 8 pillars of the imposter complex, and you go to town on each one of those 8 with an energetic process and belief clearing process. And I have tons of free content online about this. If you want any of those resources, I can link you to them. But if you identify each of those 8, procrastination, overwhelm, burnout, not owning your expertise, people pleasing is a big part of it. The helper's paradox, as I call it, that I made in another video. All of these and more, once you identify those and you attack them lovingly, humbly, gently, with spiritual alignment, energetic alignment, once you go after each one of those and clear them with specific belief clearings, and you identify the stories that you've been believing are true, but they're just stories, and you shift those, you step out of those, now you don't have to take off so many should blankets every morning. You just wake up and say, oh, it's a day. Like the birds that I hope you can hear in the background. You just wake up and go, what do I want to do today? Or you say, I know what I want to do. I made my goals last night and I'm off and running because I feel great about this. So once you identify those 8 pillars and how they're showing up in your life, and if they're showing up in your life, now you can live for you. You can stop living for everyone else. You can stop the people pleasing. You can also stop the pushing and the hashtag hustle. And you can have energy and freedom and fun. I promise you that if you've been feeling bogged down, like the race just started and everyone else is running, but your feet are in cement, and all your friends and your family, or maybe your business coach or your motivation coach, your mindset coach is on the side saying, no, you just got to believe in yourself. You just got to keep going. You just got to keep your eye on the prize and keep running. And you're standing there saying, my feet are in cement. I can't move. And everyone's just cheering you on, but you know that there's something else going on. This might be it. It might be that you're living in the bullshit zone, and your soul will not let you take one more step forward with that going on. It won't let you live in the shit anymore. It's saying enough is enough. You've been called for greater things. You've been called to be a contribution to the planet. You've been called to live a simple life of joy and ease as you do your gardening or clean the house or whatever you're doing. You've been called for more. You've not been called to this life to live out of alignment and feel so crappy all the time. You've been called for more. So once you get your feet out of the cement, now your coach and your mindset expert and all of your friends and family, everything that they're saying is true. It's all true. It's all good stuff. They're just missing that first step, which is the imposter complex, which is if you're living in the BS zone, motivation is not, I don't find motivation is the key. You've got to get real. You got to find out where you're full of crap, where you lying to yourself, and sort that out. So this video is not to give you, the 8 steps to salvation or the 10 steps to personal enlightenment. This is to hopefully get you more clear on what the problem actually is, what's really been going on, and give you some freedom and lightness that it's not your fault and that there is a solution, and you can look more deeply into that if you like. But for now, just to get, this is what's been going on. This is the map. You've been in the comfort zone maybe, and then you tried to get to the dream zone, but now you've been living in the bullshit zone. That's why you feel so crappy. And even that understanding can bring some more ease and some more peace and hopefully some more joy into your day. So this is Will with Spiritual Clarity. I hope you can hear the birds in the background. I hope you get to hear some birds today for yourself as well. Have an amazing day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye for now.